Mass incarceration. We're holding this particular event today, specifically in regards to Tamir Rice, who we know was just 12 years old, murdered in Cleveland. We as a family definitely want to thank you for being here, because we know, had it not been for you, the community, standing and utilizing your First Amendment right to speak to the murder of my nephew, Oscar Grant, we as a family wouldn't have been able to get justice alone. So we are clear that because of the community's support, standing with us, again, crying with us, going back and forth to court with us, utilizing your First Amendment right to speak to this, but most importantly, and this is for all of us, to become our brother's keeper. Anytime we see a police officer pull over a comrade, a person, a community member, take a moment out of your life, stop. Pull your cameras out and begin to record, because we do not know what can occur behind that stop. So had it not been for you videotaping what happened to Oscar Grant on that platform that night, we wouldn't have been able to get justice. But because of that, for the first time in California state history, an officer was arrested, charged, convicted.
We didn't get justice.
Now, we cannot let Oscar be the only one. The murderer, Johannes Mesli, cannot be the only police officer held accountable for shooting a community member down in these streets.
Right.
Tamir Rice deserved justice.
Right.
Diana Jones, just 7 years old, deserved justice.
Right.
Isidore Monroe, 107 years old, deserved justice.
Mike Brown?
Andy Lopez, as you know, just 14 years old in Santa Rosa, deserved justice. Ellen Bluford, as you know, 18 years old, just graduated from high school in Oakland, deserved justice. Michael Brown, I can just go on with the name. But what's important here is that we come out and we speak to this heinous act by these rogue police officers in our community. Remember this. Some of you may say, well, not all police officers are bad. We may agree with you in that respect, but we got to remember this. If the good officers fail to expose those bad officers, they are just as culpable.
Right.
That means they all need to be held accountable for the human rights that we have to hold officers accountable for the murders they committed in our community.
Right.
The only way that's going to happen is that we as a community must come stand and speak to this heinous act. Yeah. Those of you that are here today, thank you for being here, because you're representing a community that is saying we're tired of this. It is critical for us to know that this whole system is hemorrhaging on Black Lives Matter. All across this country, as we see young black boys, black girls, black adults, and those marginalized whites, our brown and Latino brothers and sisters around this country are being murdered at will. And what kind of system will allow this to happen without holding these officers accountable? That's the question we need to be asking. What kind of system allows this to happen?
Come on.
What is the role of the police? Is it here to protect the people, or is it here to protect the state and the state interests? They created the degradation that we see in our community. They created the homelessness that we see in our community. They created the unemployment that we see in this community. That's why we ask that you all consider this Thursday or Friday, Black Friday, all the way through Christmas, to utilize your money by keeping it in your pocket instead of supplying it to a system that has turned these officers loose on us without any retribution.
New Year's.
All the way through New Year's.
Damn.
Let us all stand together and make a voice to this issue of police terrorism across this country.
Economic boycott.
Our economic boycott will send real pain. Martin Luther King said this, and all of you I'm sure know who Martin Luther King is. He said that it's time for us to redistribute the pain. And what he was talking about when he said it's time to redistribute the pain, he said that we need to begin to take back our dollars instead of feeding into a system that continue to perpetrate murder of innocent people in this country.
Right.
We cannot continue to supply the system. Martin Luther King said this also. Cowards ask, is it safe? Expediency asks, is it political? And vanity asks, is it popular? But the conscience asks, is it right? There comes a time when you must take a stand when neither it is safe, political, or popular, but you take that stand because it is right. Are we standing today because it is right? Are we standing today because it is right? All right, let's represent this world so that we can let people know that we all must create a mass movement to change the conditions of the society, or our babies and our grandbabies will not have a world of luxury and life to live in. Thank you.
Sideshow. They were